on the fourth day of inner feelings, some good, mostly bad. So, yeah, I went through the storms with that too. Did it? I mean, it doesn't bother me like it used to.
What doesn't bother you?
I don't carry the guilt for Danny that I did for a lot of years.
Mm-hmm. How old was Danny and how old were you?
I was 5. Danny was 3.
Mm. And I find it so interesting. As a 5-year-old, you blamed yourself. You didn't blame the mother who left you there.
Well, I was the oldest. I was supposed to be the one in charge.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking with an inmate from Donaldson Correctional Facility, Grady. Because you have no possibility for parole, how do you find hope behind bars? And was vipassana a part of you being able to find some sense of hope for yourself, this sense of meditation?
I don't think vipassana was part of me finding hope.
Mm-hmm.
I've pretty well decided that this is my home.
Mm-hmm.
And after being in it for so long, I didn't like the way it was. I didn't like the environment I was living in.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to do something about it. But before I could help change any of my environment, I had to change me. And vipassana helped me to do that now.
To change yourself.
Yeah. I heard part of the earlier part of the show, and you said something about not being able to sit there for so long because of the pain and the stuff. See, that's the thing during this meditation that actually helped me the most. Because up until then, that old thing about nothing's permanent but change, well, that was just words.
Mm-hmm.
But they make you sit there long enough to actually experience it so that you do realize everything will pass if you just be cool, let it alone, recognize it, and move on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It taught me a lot. It makes everything so much easier, and I don't have to have that crazy mind, everything racing through my head every night when I lay down. I can actually get some sleep.
I think I recall hearing you say that, too, on the documentary, and I was really struck by that, too, because I never... I just never thought of it that way before, which I always love when I have a moment when I haven't thought of something that way before. On the tape where you say, this is my home, all of us, in the outside world here take such pride. I know I do in my own home and my environment and wanting things to be as beautiful as possible, as comfortable as possible, as peaceful as possible. As aesthetically pleasing as possible. And so it just, hearing you say that on the documentary is the first time it ever occurred to me that a guy in prison serving a life sentence would think the same as I did about a home.
Well, this is a mini city. The warden brought that up a little earlier, and that's what this is. I mean, this is a small town. And I don't care where you live. Nobody wants to live where you've got complete chaos going on around you 24 hours a day.
So has the physicality of your surroundings has not changed, obviously. What has changed about the way you see it?
Well, it's made me more acceptable and tolerant.
Mm-hmm.
And it also, I don't have to get in reaction so much.
Mm-hmm.
And that was always a problem of mine. I reacted to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't react so much anymore. It just it's okay.
It's okay.
It'll be all right in a minute.
It'll be all right in a minute. So when things are going on and people are challenging you, and based on what I was seeing in the documentary, and sometimes I watch Lockup on MSNBC. I don't know, I'm mesmerized by it. We just watch the prisoners go in and out of their cells, and there's always something to antagonize you. You are able to immediately go into some form of meditation or get still with yourself and understand this too shall pass.
Well, it's part of understanding that it too will pass, but I used the first 3 days that she talked about the breath on your lip.
Yeah.
is called anapana, and I use that from time to time. If something does upset me, then I just take a few seconds and do some anapana, and I can do it walking with my eyes open anywhere I am. Just recognize the breath on my lip, and it comes right back again. Everything's okay. Just give it a minute. But in this place, as far as challenges, your bed's not made. You're in the wrong area. You say the wrong thing. You don't do something quick enough. You don't have your clothes on just right. Your hair's not the right length. Anything can be a write-up. We call them disciplinaries. And I haven't had one in 22 years.
Wow.
So, I mean, I know how to live in prison. Just do what you're told. But, you get challenges. But, I mean, if you just, I don't know how to say it in plain enough. If you just do what you're told, you're all right.
Well, this is interesting. Obviously, Jenny's book is called Letters from the Dharma Brothers. Do you feel a sense of brotherhood down there in Alabama at the Donaldson Correctional Institution?
There's not a guy. There's probably 150 of us that have went through this course, and there's not a single one of them that I can't recognize walking through the compound, and not by his name, but by the way he carries himself.
Wow. And what is about the way he carries himself that makes him
He's
stand?
at peace.
He's at peace. Even in the midst of all that chaos.
Absolutely.
We learned while watching the documentary that your daughter was murdered while you were filming this documentary. How did you deal with that loss?
Well, I guess I did it like most people. I grieved. I understand that's a part of the process of healing. And then I called my attorney and asked him to help the guy that got put on death row in Mississippi for killing her. You know, it's kind of like that story in the Bible where the guy runs into the king and tells him, "Hurry, come outside with me. Your son's been killed." And the king asked him, "Well, who killed him?" "This is the man that killed him. We'll bring him before me, and he'll be my son." I don't have that much, I don't guess, but I don't believe in the death penalty, so I want the guy that killed my daughter to get help, too.
You want him to get help?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a lot to be gained by listening to both of you today. I mean, I think that certainly a lot of people who are listening to you and watching me right now have a lot of things going on in their life and a lot of difficulties, and feel that there's a lot of chaos. Happy that we're not behind bars to have to deal with it, but the practice of knowing that it's going to be okay no matter what it is, being able to go to your breath and recognize that whatever the moment is, this moment too shall pass, is a lesson we can all take away from you today. So I thank you so much, Grady, for talking to me today.
Thank you for having us on.
Thank you, and Obi. Thank you. If you want to see this powerful documentary, Dharma Brothers, you can go to dharmabrothers.com, and you spell Dharma, DHAMMA, brothers.com. Jenny Phillips, it's been a pleasure to have you join us, mostly silently today, but thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
I can see you have a real connection to these men because you're smiling the whole time like their mother sitting here. Like, mother, sister Jenny smiling, guys. Thank you so much for joining us here on Soul Series. It's great. I hope you enjoyed this edition of our Soul Series. These are some of my favorite conversations.
To hear more, sign up for a free 30-day XM radio trial by going to www.xmradio.com/Oprah.